Welcome, and thank you for being here. Today, we're going to look at professional photography through a different lens, not just as a creative or technical craft, but as an emotional journey that your clients go through from start to finish. Let's be honest, what we deliver isn't just photos. It's memories, confidence, pride, and connection. The way someone feels during and after their experience with you is what turns a one-time session into a lasting relationship and a referral. In this presentation, we'll break down the 8 steps of that emotional journey, from the very first ad encounter to the moment that clients proudly share their images with family and friends. At each step, we'll look at what can go right and what can go wrong, so you can build trust, reduce friction, and leave a lasting impression. My goal is to give you a practical framework that you can use to audit your own client experience, strengthen your brand, and create the kind of emotional impact that grows your business naturally. Let's get into it. Let's start with the very first step in the client journey, the ad encounter. This is where everything begins. In just a few seconds, your ad has the power to either capture someone's imagination or lose them entirely. When we get to this step, it creates excitement and inspiration. The viewer thinks, this is for me. The goal is to trigger that internal spark. When we do this with strong visuals, clear messaging, and deep emotional connection to the viewer's desires, it's not just about pretty pictures. It's about relevance and resonance. On the other hand, if we miss the mark here, we risk confusion, disinterest, or even skepticism. Poor design, unclear value, or generic stock photos can make us seem unauthentic, or worse, forgettable. So what's the key to this winning moment? Authenticity. Show real work. Use imagery and language that reflect your actual style and speak directly to the needs of your ideal client. Because in the world of marketing, especially visual marketing, first impressions don't just matter. They shape the entire journey that follows. Now, let's move to step 2, the moment of conversion, where someone goes from interest to action. This is the booking decision. If we've done our job right, this feels effortless. The form is simple and easy to fill out, the page loads quickly, and there's social proof. Reviews, testimonials that build confidence. When they hit submit, they get a clear confirmation that assures them that everything is in motion. The emotions we're aiming for here are momentum, confidence, and anticipation. We want them to feel like they're making a great decision and that things are moving forward smoothly. But if we get this wrong, even slightly, the emotional tone shifts fast. A long or buggy form, unclear pricing, or no confirmation that can trigger anxiety, frustration, and doubt. And that doubt, it's often all that it takes for someone to bounce and never come back. So, this step is all about reducing friction and building trust. The goal is simple: make it easy, make it fast, and make it feel good. Step 3 is one of the most overlooked but most powerful phases in the entire client journey, the waiting period. This is the time between booking and the actual photo session, and emotionally, it's fragile. If we stay quiet, the clients may feel forgotten. If the confirmation is vague, they may second guess their decision. But when we get it right, this period becomes a trust-building machine. We start with an immediate confirmation, a clean, automated message that confirms their booking and payment. Then we follow it with a next steps email that lays out exactly what they can expect and when, including a timeline. This reduces uncertainty. A few days later, we check in with a short, personal message, maybe a text or a quick email, just to say, we're excited to work with you. That simple human moment goes a long way. Finally, a pre-shoot reminder about a week before keeps us top of mind and reduces no-shows. The emotions we want here are trust, excitement, and clarity. The emotions we want to avoid: uncertainty, regret, or the worst case, forgetting that they booked it all. Communication during this phase is not just customer service, it's relationship equity. Step 4 is all about preparing the client for the shoot. And emotionally, it's one of the most valuable steps in reducing stress and creating a smooth experience. At this stage, the client might be wondering, what should I wear? Where are we going? What exactly is going to happen? So we meet uncertainty with clarity. It starts with personal outreach, a scheduled call or a thoughtful email that opens the door for real connection and lets the client ask questions. We follow up with helpful tips and answers to common questions, like what to wear, what time of day we're shooting, or what locations are best. These aren't just logistics, they're trust builders. And then we set expectations clearly. What time will we meet? How long will it take? When will they get their photos? When this step is done, it transforms anxiety into relief and builds excitement. But if we skip it or treat it like an afterthought, the client is left to wonder, worry, or worse, feel unprepared on the day of the shoot. This is where we really start to feel like partners, and that feeling carries into the shoot itself. Step 5 is the main event, the photo shoot day. This is where the experience becomes real, where the relationship deepens, and where the memories begin. For the client, this day can go one of two ways emotionally. It can feel joyful, relaxed, and empowering, or it can feel awkward, rushed, and stressful. And that emotional state always shows up in the final images. That's why the photographer's demeanor is so important. A calm, confident, and warm presence instantly puts people at ease. We're not just taking pictures, we're setting the emotional tone for the whole session. We also provide clear direction, coaching them on how to pose, where to look, and how to move, so they're not left guessing. That clarity builds trust. Throughout the shoot, we offer positive encouragement. Genuine praise helps people feel seen and confident, which in turn makes the photos better. And finally, we focus on a smooth process. No chaos, no confusion, just a natural flow from one shot to the next. When we get this right, the shoot day becomes more than just a session. It becomes a memory in itself. Something they'll smile about before they even see the photos. Step 6 is what I like to call the waiting game, the period between the photo shoot and the big reveal. Emotionally, this is a tricky window. The client is riding high after a great shoot, but then the silence sets in. Without intentional communication, that excitement can quickly turn into anxiety or second guessing. That's why we start with the initial communication. Right after the shoot, we clearly explain that the editing process and delivery timeline, while their energy is still high. Then we send a sneak peek, just 1 or 2 edited images within the first 48 hours. This keeps the momentum alive and builds anticipation for the full gallery. If the edit takes longer than 2 weeks, we follow up with progress updates. Short, friendly messages that say, hey, we're still working hard and it's looking amazing. These simple touch points do 2 things. They build trust in your professionalism and they keep the emotional connection alive. Without them, clients might feel forgotten, or worse, they start doubting the quality of their images. Editing is where your skill shines, but how you manage the wait is what shapes their experience. Step 7, the big reveal, and it's one of the most emotionally charged moments in the entire journey. This is where all of the effort, preparation, and anticipation finally pay off. The key here isn't just what the client sees, it's how they see it. That's why beautiful presentation is essential. Whether it's a curated online gallery with a music, slideshow, or even an in-person reveal, the format sets the emotional tone. Next is the editing itself. Quality editing should feel effortless, enhancing the client's best features without looking overdone. This is the moment when clients feel awe, pride, and validation in their decision to work with you. And don't forget about clear next steps. After the reveal, clients are often eager but unsure what to do next. Give them clear instructions on how to download their images, order prints, share online, or begin the album design process. Done right, this step delivers an emotional high that sticks. But if it's rushed, confusing, or underwhelming, it can undo a lot of the trust that we've built so far. Remember, this isn't just the delivery of the photos, it's the delivery of memories. And finally, step 8, sharing and referrals. This is where the experience continues after the delivery, and where your happiest clients can become your best marketers. We start by making it easy. One-click sharing tools in online galleries, especially with direct links to Facebook or Instagram. This gives clients a frictionless way to show off their photos, and when people are proud of their images, they want to share. Next, we follow up with a gentle review request. This should feel personal, not templated. Acknowledge the specific type of shoot that they had and thank them before asking. It builds real, authentic social proof. Then, we lean into human follow-ups. A thank you message or a check-in without asking for anything builds loyalty and shows you care about the relationship, not just the transaction. Finally, offer a referral program, something simple and valuable for both the referrer and the new client. When done right, this makes your word-of-mouth marketing engine almost self-sustaining. The key here is tone and timing. If we push too hard and make it feel transactional, clients retreat. But if we treat them like partners and advocates, they lean in and spread the word with pride. Let's bring it all together. This pyramid represents the foundation of a truly exceptional client experience, and it's built in layers. At the base is technical excellence. This is where most photographers start. Yes, your images should be beautiful, sharp, and professionally edited, but great photos alone are not enough. The next layer is clear communication. Without it, even the most talented photographers lose clients to anxiety, doubt, or confusion. Consistent, thoughtful touch points before, during, and after the shoot are what create trust and reduce friction. And at the top is emotional connection, the heart of your brand. When clients feel seen, understood, and genuinely cared for, they become loyal fans and enthusiastic referrers. The real secret? Emotions drive decisions at every stage, from the first ad they see to the moment they refer you to a friend. Every step is a chance to deepen the relationship. So, here's the final question to leave you with. What one step will you focus on improving this month? Audit your current experience against this framework, and you'll discover your own biggest growth opportunities. They are probably not technical. They're emotional. If you've made it this far, thank you. This tells me that you're serious about creating better client experiences and growing your photography business. If this presentation was helpful, please go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, or share, whatever feels most natural to you. And interact. We would love to hear your thoughts, answer your questions, and connect with others on the same journey. If you're ready to take the next step, whether it's refining your workflow, building your brand, or optimizing your client experience, we would love to help. Just reach out, start a conversation. There's no pressure, there's no sales pitch, just real support to help move you forward. Let's create something beautiful together.